from Tampa Bay's #1 news station. This is Good Day Tampa Bay.
Of course, it is Ask a Lawyer segment, and a couple of topics that we're going to deal with here. First off, the Las Vegas shooter used a device called a bump stock to turn a semi-automatic weapon into a weapon that can fire at a faster rate. Florida's Democratic Senator Bill Nelson co-sponsored a bill filed in Washington that would close a loophole that allows for those modifications. Several Republicans have said that they will support the bill. On another topic, still dealing with guns, a group of Florida GOP lawmakers want to weaken concealed carry rules. Sarasota Senator Greg Stubbe filed 2 bills for the 2018 legislation. First, to allow permit holders to take guns into courthouses. The second would water down penalties for people who walk around carrying their concealed guns openly. Getting backing from a Polk County House representative on this one. Hunter joining us this morning. Hunter, good morning. Thank you for coming on with us this morning. Hunter Chamberlin, your last name. So let's talk about the bump stocks. You're saying there's some misinformation out there.
There is. The information that is out there says that they can fire 600 to 800 rounds per minute. Well, that's just factually incorrect. The capacity of these type of weapons carry about 30 rounds. So while they may increase the rate of fire, they certainly can't fire 600 rounds in a minute. So that's misinformation.
And I think it's very important to highlight that the difference between an automatic and semi-automatic. Semi-automatic is you hit the trigger once and one round will fire. An automatic, you just hold it down and it will just spray.
And they have been illegal since the 40s. 86, yeah. You can't own a machine gun, an automatic weapon, that has been manufactured post-1986. So they're already illegal.
So how hard is it from a legislator's perspective to close a loophole like that it doesn't actually turn a weapon into an automatic weapon?
Well, ATF looked at this back a number of years ago, 2010, I believe, about whether or not they should outlaw bump stocks, and they declined to do so. The legislature could presumably outlaw these, but the question is why? Assault weapons, as they are referred to, are responsible for about 1% of gun deaths in this country and about 2% of gun violence. The overwhelming majority of crimes are not committed by these assault-type weapons, and overwhelmingly, permit holders do not commit gun crimes. So the question is not can they do it, but does it make sense, or is this some sort of visceral reaction to a horrible situation that wouldn't, in the end, fix anything? And if you look at the statistics of who's committing gun crimes and with what weapons, this wouldn't solve the problem.
You're bringing up good arguments on both sides, for sure. Okay, so let's talk about bringing guns into courthouses. Is that something that, do most courthouses have ways to stop people from bringing in guns? They have the metal detectors, right?
They do. And even as a lawyer with a bar card, I have to take my belt off. I have to, depending on the courthouse, take all my keys out, lift up my pant leg. So they have that type of security. But it gets back to, it's not allowing just anybody to bring a weapon into a courthouse. It's allowing people that have passed a background check and have a concealed weapons permit to do so. That's the intent of the bill. And as I said, those people are not people that commit crimes. They overwhelmingly are practice gun safety, and they are not the people that are responsible for gun violence.
Well, when you're practicing law in a courtroom, how does that make you feel that those who have their proper permits, that if this law passes, that they would have guns?
I'm very comfortable with someone that has a permit, that has a concealed weapons permit, that would have a firearm, because the statistics show that that person would not likely be committing a crime, and that if there were somebody that had an intent to commit a violent crime, that would be one more person that has been trained in firearms that would be helping resolve that situation.
So legislation that is going to go out that possibly will change the way you practice law, whether or not you're fighting one way or the other. Thanks for coming on this morning, Hunter Chamberlin.
Thank you for having me.
The number for Ask a Lawyer is at the bottom of our screen, 813-875-8255. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
They'll be answering your questions until 9:30 this morning. We'll be right back.